We're back with another Top 20 DCI Rankings video, 2025 edition. These rankings are based solely off of, well, nothing really, just which shows that I thought I liked the best. Starting out our list with Music City's It Tolls for Thee. This is a journey through the unstoppable passage of time, where every moment draws us closer to an inevitable end. As time fractures, races, and finally stills, we are left with the haunting truth. The final call is not for others, it is for us all. Ah yes, a show about death. My favorite. I especially like their arrangement of Dies Irae. Though I wish these bell sounds were real and not just something sampled through the synthesizer. It could have been cool to even do some kind of like handbell choir sort of thing. I thought that would have made sense with the show, but nonetheless, an enjoyable performance from Music City. The Crossmen are crossing the street. I get it. It's a play on words. This is a rather light-hearted show concept design that I'm sure is relatable for anyone who has lived in the city.
Wait.
I wouldn't know though. I never leave my house. Okay, it's too scary out there. Okay, gotta stay indoors. We start out in the end zone on side 1, and over the course of an 11-minute production, we finally cross through the end zone on side 2. This was a pretty simple concept from Crossmen, but I really like the music that they played throughout the whole production. Congratulations to our 3-time back-to-back world champions in the open class, the Spartans. This year's show was designed with this trilogy in mind, and unlike the Kansas City Chiefs, they were able to pull it off. Three-peat. Let's go. In 2023, they did Surreal, which was very much of an artistic concept. In 2024, it was all about Burning Man and visiting a mythical place. And this year they did Mystica, which was kind of a combination of these two shows. Both of the Spartans' previous championships, they also made it into my top 20 list, so it makes sense that I would enjoy this year's show as well. The concept is centered around the overarching concept of mysticism, and titled for its Spanish translation, Mystica. It's intended to be an abstract world in which Spartans will explore, rather than a story the Spartans will unfold. And this mandolin soloist, this was absolutely insane. Very, very cool. I really liked the audio soundscape and the cool effects to represent this crazy mystical world we had going on here. The Cavaliers explore the concept of transformation, inspired by the idea of shapeshifting. Each movement of the show explores the joy, vulnerability, and revelation of the creative journey, celebrating the performer's ability to navigate shifting rhythms, moods, styles, and energies with clarity and strength, of course. I thought these props were a very cool design. We had these half circle, kind of oblong, a little bit of an optical illusion prop going on, and then they came together and they shape shifted into a circle. And I thought the color guard was about to do some crazy cartwheeling madness in these new circles, but we just had a little bit of tame rocking back and forth going on, which was still pretty cool, but Thought it could have been a little bit cooler, maybe. But I did certainly appreciate the little nod we had to the Bluecoats 2014 Tilt tenor feature. Some similarities there for sure. An enjoyable show from Cavaliers as always, and they got me to shift my shape in the stands from sitting to standing ovation. Yes, good job, Cavaliers. A single drop becomes many, building from the silence into a tidal surge of emotion. Yeah, this was a pretty cool design show as well, especially with the sound effects that represented the leaky pipes we had going on. There was a lot of very cool moments. Now, while the show is called Drip, I wouldn't say that they got that drip in the fashion sense with these uniforms, but this was another show that I definitely enjoyed overall. I liked the oboe soloist. I thought they sounded absolutely fantastic. This is a new DCI rule this year that any non-brass and percussion instrument can be used as a soloist. Though I did notice that all of the international groups, they had entire woodwind sections, so I don't know, I guess they're allowed to do whatever they want, as long as you're not from the United States. But anyways, the Blue Knights had a very fun show this year, and congrats to them for getting back into the top 12 and making it into finals. The Academy immerses audience in a visually driven exploration of Victorian London's mysterious atmosphere, using fog, rain, and evolving color palettes to create an eerie yet ultimately uplifting journey. It's too bad fog machines are not allowed in DCI, because that would have been really effective and appropriate for this show. Instead, we had some props that were used to represent this, and I thought they were used very well. We had the white sheets out there to represent the fog, and the use of the umbrellas was also a very cool visual effect at certain times. But finally, the sun comes out, leaving us with an uplifting closing statement from the Academy. Very, very cool. Gold is retelling the story of Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. This is a gothic musical slasher film that tells the tale of Sweeney Todd, who is an English barber and serial killer. Now, I haven't seen this film, but I do love a good slasher movie, okay? So maybe I'll check this one out. I really like the creativity with this trapdoor prop to hide the dead bodies. It was a very nice touch. And we also had the gigantic razor blade props, very symbolic. I like that too. Just a very entertaining show once again this year from Gold. Let me fall if I must fall. The one I am becoming will catch me. The Mandarins imply that setbacks and failures are not the end, but rather opportunities for transformation and becoming a stronger, more resilient version of oneself. Very motivational. Unlike most shows where a prop falls down and hits someone, these are intentionally designed to tip over and crush the crap out of people. And I like the way they used this idea throughout the show. Okay, the falling towers, they looked really cool and provided a lot of effective moments. Just a fun show design overall, very, very creative. Good job, Mandarins. Now it's time for the top 12. Who would have made DCI World Class Finals if I was the one and only judge? But first, I want to give some honorable mentions out to a few corps that were very, very close to making it onto the top 20 list. Inspired by the biblical story of Eve, most notably known for biting the forbidden apple, Pacific Crest explores human nature and the moral weight of our decisions. Ah yes, another dark concept. I liked how the color guard was using snakes as their equipment for a bit. That was pretty fun, but don't let PETA find out about that one. This show uses music that hints at the 7 deadly sins, such as Jealous by Labyrinth, Dies Irae by Verdi, and Better Have My Money by Rihanna. Pacific Crest seems to have a pattern with highlighting famous women as their show concepts. The 2024 production revolved around Mexican artist Frida Kahlo, and the 2023 program centered around the Greek goddess Aphrodite. And now we're doing a show about the very first woman, Eve. I wonder what the 2026 production, I wonder what woman that'll be about. There's a lot to choose from, so I guess we'll see. This was a really cool show overall, and just like Music City, who did Dies Irae, I really enjoyed how epic this arrangement was. Spirit is fusing the explosive energy of rock music with the raw power of drum corps to create Rocket, a high-octane journey into the unknown. We blast off into outer space and find some wild new artifacts like cowbells and trombones. Ooh. Imagine if there were all different kinds of cowbells out in deep space somewhere. I think Christopher Walken would be all about it. After a while, we decide that we have collected enough cowbells and make the return trip home. This was a fun adventure throughout the cosmos. Thank you, Spirit of Atlanta. Fandom invites us to experience something real and then decide what it means. There is no title, no flashy trailer, no big reveal, no easy answer. We could just have ChatGPT tell us what the show was about, but that's cheating. Let's not do that. So I've watched all of these shows 3 times in real life, and then I watched the video again in preparation for this video I'm making, so I think I have an interpretation of this show. I think this white fabric, the props, I think that represents the idea of masking what we don't want others to see. Things are hidden behind the props, but in fact what we are attempting to hide is still beautiful. So quit hiding back there, okay, and let everything come together as one, or something like that. I don't know. Compose a comment and let me know what you think this show meant. Our DNA is composed of many parts. Music brings us all together and makes us human. And I absolutely loved the music throughout this show. There was so much variety throughout this, including the conical South Indian percussion syllable music, just like Amir Uzman did in his videos a few years back. And this guy on the slide trumpet, or the soprano trombone, whatever you call it, this was really freaking good. This has such a cool sound. Madison Scouts certainly have great show design implanted in their DNA. Okay, I really liked the show and was thoroughly entertained throughout it. The Blue Stars transform the drum corps field into a living arena of athleticism, struggle, and triumph. The props really set the stage for this one, with the bleachers all around the field, possibly a nod to Bluecoats in 2013, who also used bleachers all over the place. And we also had a track with hurdles, a locker room, the color guard used field hockey sticks as equipment for a little bit, and of course the football field was cosplaying as a football field. That's what that was. This one really got my blood pumping with such an exciting show design. Definitely one of my favorites of the night from the Blue Stars, and it's safe to say that I enjoyed being a spectator of spectator sports. Over the past several years, the Troopers have taken audiences on a multi-part journey. The shows have all centered around the evolving story of the Trooper, a protagonist who embodies the gritty determination of the Corps' identity. I like how the Troopers is basically like a multi-season TV show. And on season 4 of the Troopers saga is about reflection, coming to terms with what was, what is, and what's next. The last 3 Troopers shows, they've been really high up on my top 20 list, so it makes sense that I also liked this show, because there was a bunch of nods to the previous show, and we even brought back the cello player. But our hero is shot down in a blaze of glory, and we end with him walking off into the sunset, our heroes' last trip up to the big cattle ranch in the sky. A very emotional performance indeed. And troopers, they broke another world record for the earliest show reveal in history. The 2026 show was announced during their finals performance this year, Into Darkness, coming up next in Season 5. And I am certainly looking forward to this one. I always enjoy the Trooper shows. Fantastic job once again. The Blue Devils are examining the different ways in which many parts become a whole. Right off the bat, the Blue Devils, they captured my attention. While they were setting up, they had wireless speakers playing their pre-show before anyone was even on the field. Kind of similar to how RCC did it in WGI in this past indoor season. Blue Devils had some really cool music this year. I definitely liked the bolero motif in the percussion writing all throughout the show, and the snare feature that every high school line thinks they can play, but they can't. The soprano saxophone soloist did a great job. This is such a cool sounding instrument. And as always, Blue Devils had an outstanding visual presentation. These collapsible chair props were very, very cool looking, and of course the circle drill at the end of the show. This was absolutely epic. Before we get into my top 5 favorite shows, I want to give a shout out to the Commandant's Own, the United States Marine Corps Drum and Bugle Corps. I served in this unit for 4 years, and it's great to see them back and better than ever, performing an exhibition to open up on finals night. Hoorah and Semper Fi, Marines. Lucid dreams are often described as a realm of limitless possibilities, where the dreamer's awareness and control over their dreamscape create a sense of wonder and freedom. Now, at first I thought I was having some kind of lucid dream when I saw these uniforms, like, what are those, dude? But they actually make quite a bit of sense with the show design, and it's really effective actually when they switch sides between the green and the red parts of the uniform. It's very cool looking. So we start out dreaming, and then we fade out to nothing with a very cool arrangement of Sound of Silence. And then we are stuck in a nightmare. Oh no, everything is all red and scary. Yeah, this show was super cool, definitely really imaginative. It certainly held my interest throughout the entire production, earning a spot in the EMC Top 5 for the Colts. Well done. Vanguard's show title is more than just clever wordplay. You get it? Vanguard? The avant-garde? The avant-garde draws a line between the Corps' iconic name and the avant-garde movement, known for pushing artistic boundaries. This was such a fun and just wacky show overall from SCV this year. These big PVC arm people, that made me chuckle up in the stands. It's a good thing those guys didn't audition for tenors, because the back pain would just be insane from how far out the drums would need to be to accommodate their long arms. SCV does a great job with designing shows with minimal props, okay? I feel like if other drum corps were to do an avant-garde concept, there would just be props like everywhere, big artwork all over the place, but that's not the SCV style. They made it work with minimalistic props, and it was a great design overall. One of my favorite shows of the night. Fantastic job. An immersive odyssey beyond the Veil of Fate, a quest for humanity's deepest truths, where fate and fortune collide and mysterious hidden forces emerge to challenge the soul. And the darkness wins, yes. The devil character overtakes our soul for an absolutely epic ending. I mean, this angle is so cool, just seeing this person get swallowed up. Yeah, I was absolutely fascinated by this devil character, and I just couldn't help but, tracking them all around the field as the show went on. Very cool costuming and absolutely crazy props with this one. Oh man, these things were massive. Oh my goodness. Some of you longtime viewers might know that I marched Carolina Crown in 2010, back before they used massive props and only had one timpani player. This for the front ensemble this year, the setup is crazy too. We got 2 sets of timpani and quad bass gong setups. So extra, I love it. And as an alumni of the Corps, it's great to see Crown doing well year after year and putting out a great product. Great production overall from Carolina Crown, super entertaining, one of my favorite shows of the night. We live in a universe of endless possibility, immersed in an existence that presents infinite potential outcomes. We are all observers, and it is our own perception of the world around us that creates the reality we experience. And I observed one of my favorite shows I've ever seen with this one. My goodness, dude, there's just so many cool and creative musical moments all throughout the show. I mean, right away in the opener, the brass, they had this wild split 16th note feature that was so clean. And the percussion writing, as always, was great from the Bluecoats, but I think my favorite part had to be the hand-to-hand bass drum rim clicks. There was also this part where it sounded like the horn line was doubling the rhythms of the snare feature. Now, when I saw this in person, I thought this was just like an effect being like amplified through the speakers, but watching and listening to the video, I don't know. Maybe it is like a mic'd trumpet player, like actually playing the rhythms of the snare drummer. Someone who marched Bluecoats, compose a comment and let me know how you guys did that effect. Lots of cool music, lots of cool props, lots of crazy stagings. Always a great time watching Blue. An explosive burst of energy, a thunderous resonant sound, a sudden expansive surge, or an exclamation to signify a desired outcome or achievement. And what an achievement it was. For the first time in history, Boston Crusaders, they took home first place in DCI World Championships, the gold medal. And because I like this show the best out of every corps, they're also taking home the gold medal from EMCProductions. Not for the first time, though. I thought their Moby Dick show in 2013 was the best show, too. This retro-futuristic production finds great emotion in the conflicts between innovative optimism and atomic age fear. And while Boston's percussion writing, it was certainly imaginative. In fact, the entire percussion section was perfect. They took home the Fred Sanford Best Percussion Award with a perfect score. I mean, let's face it, those double Mahler hammer parts, I mean, that was deserving of this award alone. I mean, come on. Also, the tenor grandma neighbors drum feature, the grandma neighbors, I guess I would call those. Yeah, I really liked that part. That was really, really cool writing. And of course, dude, the ending. I mean, this was such a great ending to an already great show. Truly mind-blowing. Congratulations, Boston Crusaders.